hour. There are on average 75 tornadoes a year in Canada. The high-risk areas are extreme southwestern Ontario and along the U.S. border with Saskatchewan and western Manitoba. One-third of all tornadoes reported in Canada have occurred in Ontario in June and July between 3 and 7 p.m. One tornado is reported in Canada every 5 days, compared to 5 tornadoes every day in the U.S.
This Weather Network local report begins with the latest observed conditions in your area. It will also include both the short-term and long-range forecasts. Stay tuned. Coming up next is your detailed forecast for various regions of the country. And at 1:45 and quarter after the hour, it's Earthwatch, our exclusive reports on the effects of weather and reports on environmental issues. You're watching the Weather Network.
Welcome to the Weather Network. Here's the weather picture for tonight across the country. Showers will continue in Newfoundland, while clear skies and warm temperatures are expected in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. Southern and northern Ontario will see thunder showers as a cold front moves through. You can expect variable to mainly cloudy skies across the prairies with a chance of showers and below seasonal temperatures. Finally, the southern BC coast will continue to enjoy clear skies and seasonal temperatures. With details, here's Neil Mather.
Thank you, Lila. For most of us, quite a thunderstorm coming through the bottom of Ontario. We're going to focus on Ontario because of all this active weather this time around. From the satellite along a cold front, some clouds, some very heavy showers at times, hail coming down, gusty winds, and a lot of thunder and lightning also. Now, we have 3 areas under tornado warnings. A third area has just been added. We have reports of a possible tornado-producing thunderstorm between Barry's Bay and Madawaska, Ontario. So now the region of Renfrew, which is about 100 kilometers just northwest of Ottawa, that's also under the tornado warning. Now the other tornado warnings include North Bay, Nipissing. Here we have reports of a line of very severe thunder shower activity just to the northeast of North Bay, crossing Highway 11 to the north of North Bay. And back in northern Peel, northern York regions, we also have a tornado warning in effect. Here we've had reports of some very, very heavy thunder and lightning, possible tornado-producing thunder and lightning, north of Bolton, Ontario, north of Newmarket. So again, to recap those 3 areas under the warnings, northern portions of Peel, northern portions of York region, North Bay, Nipissing, and Renfrew, Ontario. And again, as I say, for most of us, it's just going to be a severe thunderstorm. Severe thunderstorm watch has been issued really for most of us across the bottom of Ontario. And really across the southwest, the south, the east, and on up almost to northeasternmost Ontario, some very intense weather. Our latest radar shot showing a lot of activity, some thunder and lightning coming down in the southwest. And there's that very intense weather north of Bolton, north of Newmarket, on over towards Renfrew, up through Cottage Country, central Ontario. A lot of activity to be found there, too. Now, most of this will be settling down overnight, certainly, and the forecast is more of the same tomorrow. Hot, hazy, and humid weather with us once again in Toronto, getting back up to about 29s across the southwest. Up towards Cottage Country, this thunder shower activity a lot less intense than things we're getting now. This is just from the instability in the air left behind as that cold front leaves us. Another scorcher in eastern Ontario tomorrow, too. Across the northeast, 18s, 19s, 20s to begin with the clouds. Then these clouds move out for the afternoon. So a very nice day on the way. A lot of sunshine, 24s, 25s, and 26s. Just about bang on for this time of the year. Clouds in the morning in Manitoba and northwestern Ontario. Some scattered showers around the Lake of the Woods.
The latest UV readings point to southern Ontario and northern Manitoba.
This is the Weather Network's detailed local report. Coming up 1 minute from now, it's international weather with tomorrow's forecast for major cities around the world. You're watching the Weather Network, your round-the-clock source for information about weather and the environment.
Just to update you now on the latest with this very stormy weather across Ontario. Most of us, as this cold front comes through, are going to see some very intense thunderstorm activity. A lot of thunder and lightning, some heavy hail, gusty winds, rain very intense at times. But on top of this, we have 3 areas in Ontario now under tornado warnings. As it has been for the past couple of hours, we have a tornado warning in effect for North Bay, Nipissing. Reports of tornadoes northeast of Lake Nipissing. And it continues for northern Peel, northern York, and I repeat, not North York. This is northern York regions. Reports of some tornado-producing thunderstorm activity north of Bolton and north of Newmarket. And a line of very intense weather now being reported between Barry's Bay and Madawaska. So Renfrew, Ontario, is also under a tornado warning. I'll repeat this message from the Ontario Solicitor General. If you are in the path of a tornado, go to a basement or a small central room away from windows. Do not stay in a vehicle and find sturdy shelter or lie flat in a ditch. We can turn to our national satellite map and see this low-pressure system now centered over Lake Superior. There's the cold front, bringing that cooler air into that very hot air across the bottom of Ontario, touching off this intense weather. Our satellite shot gets us a little bit closer, and we can see that band of activity that is still with us. I think we have a radar shot we can put into motion for southern Ontario. And there it goes, just right across the region. Most of us, again, going to see some very severe thunderstorm activity throughout the evening.
Mainly cloudy skies across the prairies with a chance of showers and below seasonal temperatures. Finally, the southern BC coast will continue to enjoy clear skies and seasonal temperatures. With details, here's Neil Mather.
Thank you, Lila. Again, we'll focus on Ontario with all this very stormy weather. Cold front from the satellite moving through, bringing us some clouds, some very intense showers, some damaging hail, some thunder, some lightning, and intense rainfall at times. Most of us are going to see some very severe thunderstorms, and really the entire bottom of Ontario now under a severe thunderstorm watch. But on top of that, as we have been talking about for the past couple of hours, we do have some tornado warnings that are in effect. Just to recap, North Bay, Nipissing, northern Peel, northern York regions, and now Renfrew, Ontario. And I'm going to repeat this message from the Ontario Solicitor General that says, if you're in the path of a tornado, go to a basement or small central room away from windows, and do not stay in a vehicle. Find some very strong surroundings or lie flat in a ditch. And there's the severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect for most of us. Radar showing a lot of activity from the southwest all the way through central and cottage country regions of Ontario. Details coming up.
Here are forecasts for some specific centers in your region. This report covers 2 time periods for each center. The first is the next 6 hours. The second forecast for the same sites covers the next 12 hours.
On this day in 1992, severe flooding ravaged southeastern China. 180 people were killed and more than 9,000 families were left homeless. The devastating floods and mudslides were brought on by 3 weeks of heavy rain. Several major rivers were forced over their banks. The flooding destroyed crops, roads, and bridges in 6 provinces. Rescue efforts were made difficult by washed-out transportation and communication links. The date, July 9, 1992.
Les données sur la qualité de l'air proviennent du ministère de l'Environnement. Le produit indiqué sur...
You know what? The thing lit up on the first match. You've got to be kidding.
Why not light up your life this summer with a whole range of unbelievably tough Coleman products?
Somebody's going to see this on TV and say, hey, that's my lantern. Not anymore.
This Weather Network local report features the conditions observed in this area during the past hour. It also includes both the short-term and long-range forecast. If an official weather warning is issued for this area, it's broadcast immediately on the Weather Network. Your TV screen will turn completely red, and an alarm will sound as the text of the warning appears. It's a public safety feature